Check it out. Check it out. 1, 2. Oh my God. Oh my. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Please put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me, y'all. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. If you can hear me, put a 1 in the chat. Whoever can hear me, put a 1 in the chat, please. Yes. Mia Moore. What's up, Mia Moore? Y'all put a 1 in the chat. Hit the like button coming through the door. Make sure you stream, share the show. Push this stream through the algorithm. It's the Heaven Hollywood Experience about to pop off on our afternoon Friday show. And then we'll be back in the evening time for the big show. Come in and smash that like button. Hold on. Here I'm sounding here. Make sure you hit that like button coming through the door. Support the host. Thank you very much, Darius.
Clear out pores and feel fresh again.
Darius. Okay, I'm sounding good. I can hear myself. Make sure you hit the like button coming through the door. What's up to everybody on YouTube? What's up to everybody on Facebook? I am your host, Heaven Hollywood. This is the Heaven Hollywood Experience. If you are a first-time listener, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit share and share this to someone. We about to get into it, man. A big deal and a big groundbreaking deal in hip-hop took place today. A big deal for the culture. We'll talk about it and why a lot of people are upset that it happened. But meanwhile, you got Curtis Jackson running around here destroying the culture and everybody supporting him. But a brother just got a big deal, one of the biggest deals ever in talk radio, and everybody seems to be upset. So we're going to talk about that. Tory Lanez spoke out. First time speaking. I don't know why he's speaking out now. You know, after all these appeals and all these trips to the court, and never once spoke up. I mean, speaking out now, there ain't no need. So we'll go over what Tory Lanez said, right? And then Taylor Swift just out here giving away all sorts of money, making all the black folks look bad. Taylor Swift out here just giving away millions of dollars. And y'all Negroes is giving away $5,000 bonuses. You millionaires, multimillionaires is giving your dancers $5,000 extra. You say, oh, I paid their salary. They got a stipend when they were on tour. What else do they need? So, y'all make sure to hit the like button. It's Christmas time. If you want to send your boy a little something, hit the Cash App was $, Heaven Hollywood. All right. So we got those things to talk about. And also when you can expect the Nicki Minaj single. I will let y'all know. I will let you know what I was told. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give the date on my members only. They deserve to hear that date, but I can let y'all know here when to expect it. So, without further ado, y'all, this is the Heaven Hollywood Experience. I'm your host, Heaven Hollywood. Let's go.
I can see something. I can. Look, one way or another, we gon' get our family up about the gutter. Brother, you was out of pocket, no, I didn't stutter. I drop it back in the trap when investing in the streets, your treasures recover. In this world, you could only rep one or two things that come to the butter. Whoa, you only rep one or two things that the guns in the butter. Whoa, you only rep one or two things that the guns in the butter. I drop it back in the trap when investing in the streets, your treasures recover. In this world, you could only rep one or two things that come to the butter. Sleeping patterns kinda complicated, ain't no time for wasting, we some entrepreneurs. I'm feeling like Scarface on top of the balcony, the what is yours? Took some losses, I was down bad. Napoleon complex, I'm mad, about to put the cam up in the clad bag. Sign sealed in the living. Chicken dinner till you roll with the winners. Taking over for the summer. I double back for the winner. I be with the scammers and spinners. Innovators in the middle, man. All my riders got a dental plan. None of my shooters got Instagrams. Bang, bang. Got some rich headed out of bounds. Had to hop in the renty to ride around. About to switch up the whisk cause they stalking now. Whispering body dropping on my side of town. Flick of finesse. Known to stay up out the mess. Business is never personal. We can politic the rest. I got a plug and they made me a plug. All my moves on they need to know. Rapper weed got me speaking slow. Bet you pay attention when we speaking up. If you drown, you gon' sink or you swim. In the field, we be getting it in. Type of pressure that took boys and the men. Flag out the family, we're back again. Come on, let's go. One way or another, we gon' get our family up about the gutter. Brother, you was out of pocket. No, I didn't stutter. I drop it back in the trap when investing in the streets, your treasures recover.
Funky Fresh in the flesh. Heaven Hollywood Experience. Woo. Friday. What is today? The 20th? 5 days until Jesus Christ's birthday. I think it's the 20th. Five days until Jesus Christ's birthday. Welcome to the show. If it is your first time, you may be a little startled, but that's the way we give it up over here. Pure excitement. Happy to be in the land of the living, even though I don't sound like it. As soon as I said land of the living, I started coughing like, oh my God, what's happening? Happy to be in the land of the living. Was able to take my vitamin C, zinc, and vitamin D pause every day. So I'm going to be around here for a while. Welcome with a V to the show. Got my moderators here. If you need anything, ask them. If you try to get funny, they'll get you up out of here. You know, if you want to be up out of here, there's no need of coming in, trolling or anything. Just say, moderator, get me up out of here. And then they will get you up out of here. All right? Over here, we don't kneecap suck. We don't do narratives. Excuse me. We don't really like to troll over here. We just like to get to the business. Right? We have fun, but we like to hear the real stuff. right? We want to know the real stuff. We want to know who's really popping in music. We want to know what music is really hot. Not what Billboard says, not what Twitter says, not what Pitchfork says, what our ears say. Of course, we like to do the stats, but we only talk stats when we want to talk whatever's factual, right? But opinions are not facts. Shout out to my girl, Couture. When she says that, it's so true. Opinions are not facts. Oh, that album was trash. Plain and simple. You lying if you said that album was hot. Opinions cannot, you can't be a lie. An opinion can't be a lie. As long as you state that that's an opinion. In my opinion, this album's trash. That's an opinion. But when you can't come on and say, everybody says it's trash. That's not a fact. That's not a fact. Number one, you don't know everybody in the world, so you can't speak for them. And number two, not everybody thinks an album's whack. It's never a point where there is everybody in the world that thinks an album's whack. There's going to be 1 or 2 or 3 or 20 who like it, right? I used to have that issue with Prince. No bigger Prince fan on the planet than me. I'll challenge anybody. I'll challenge anybody in Prince knowledge. I'll challenge anybody in Prince support. There is nobody, living or dead, fan. I can clearly say, well, I can't say dead because I don't know the dead ones. Any fan living right now on Prince.org, on anywhere else, you could never be a bigger fan of Prince than me. Nobody. And even Prince, I said, put out some garbage. So not everything is going to be hot. There was a few Prince songs I was like, man, what you doing? Right? But stans will say, oh, no, that was hot. That was hot. That's what stans do. They don't tell the truth. Right? But we tell the truth over here. Okay, so let me share my screen so I can let y'all see what I'm looking at. Once again, shout out to YouTube, IE Network. Shout out Facebook, right? I'm not on Twitch today, but the evening I will be. And let's go real quickly to Tory Lanez, because Tory Lanez decided in his 3rd year of being locked up, after numerous opportunities to take the stand, wherein I always said, I said from the beginning, and I know the Megan Thee Stallion fans will get mad at me, when I said I wish Tory Lanez didn't get locked up, but then I didn't want Megan to look like a liar either. I wanted it to come out to where they were just like, you know what? We believe her, but it's just not enough evidence to prove it. But we do believe that he's a bad guy. But we just can't put him in jail. So at least that way, Megan wouldn't look like a liar and Tory wouldn't be in jail. That is the way I always wanted it. But it didn't turn out that way. So let's see here. Tory Lanez appeared on NBC, all right, for the first time ever speaking about this case. Well, not really, but the first time that he's saying, pretty much saying, I mean, I guess by him saying, I've never even hit a woman, no less shoot a woman. So if he never even hit a woman, that's pretty much saying, how could I shoot a woman? I've never even hit a woman. Now, I know a lot of people are saying, yeah, but he's trying to use subliminals. He didn't shoot Megan Thee Stallion. He shot the gun off that hit Megan Thee Stallion. He's trying to use subliminals, right? And maybe he is. But Tory Lanez was on NBC. He plans to appeal, alleging that evidence may not have been used. Let's take a quick look.
On guilty in the 2020 shooting of Megan Thee Stallion. Tonight, Lanez's lawyers say there was evidence not presented in the initial trial as they argue for his release. Here's NBC News entertainment correspondent Chloe Moss.
Tonight, rapper Tory Lanez breaking his silence in his first ever broadcast interview from behind bars since being found guilty of shooting Grammy winner Megan Thee Stallion in the foot outside a party in 2020.
I've never been violent towards a woman. I would never hit a woman, let alone shoot a woman.
Lanez, whose real name is Daystar Peterson, spoke to NBC News from California Men's Colony, a prison where he's 3 years into a 10-year sentence after being found guilty on 3 felony counts, including assault with a semi-automatic firearm.
There is definitely a very big misconception about me that seems to the public as I'm this monster. I feel like I was catapulted into this poster child for the unprotection of Black women. And it's just so unlike me. And I've never really had a chance to express that. But you can look at my criminal record. I don't have one.
Okay, so I'm going to stop right there. First of all right, this is where I'm going to push back a little bit. Always being fair, always being straight down the middle. Like I said, I never wanted Tory Lanez to go to jail, but here we are. Now this is where I push back. Number one, do not say you never had the opportunity to express that. You did. You had the opportunity to express that. You had plenty of opportunity to express that. You decided not to use it. You decided to instead express yourself on social media, right? And his record is not clean. That's another thing that I'm going to push back on. Didn't you punch August Alsina? Didn't you have a gun charge? Wasn't you reported for beating up the dude at the club? Then your record's not clean. If you had a gun charge prior, and this is the reason why this was your second gun charge, then your record ain't clean. His record isn't clean. He's been arrested before, so his record isn't clean. Now, maybe his record for not hitting a woman is clean, but you can't say, check my criminal record. I have none. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. If you didn't have one, this would not have been a felony, sir. You weren't a first-time offender. If you was a first-time offender, you would have never got that amount of time. Right? So let's not say you don't have a record. You do have a record. Now, do you have a record of hitting a woman? No. But don't say, I don't have a criminal record. Yeah, you do. Yes, you do. You do have a criminal record. And the whole, I never got a chance. Yeah, you did. You had opportunity. You had plenty of opportunity to speak. You could have went on the stand and testified. But you know why you didn't? For everybody out there, the reason why Tory Lanez didn't testify is because he was afraid of what else was going to come out. So if you had no record, you wouldn't have to worry about that. You had a record. Because you said, oh, they were gonna use the August Alsina thing. And then again, you were afraid they were gonna use some of your other past troubles. Well, if you ain't got no criminal record, there wouldn't be no past troubles. Right? And again, Blue Magic, I agree with you. He never gave a play-by-play, but he had that opportunity. If you don't remember what after Megan Thee Stallion said it was Tory Lanez? Remember when she came and said, that N-word, Tory shot me. Tory went online less than 3 days later. Why didn't you tell right then and there, before you got arrested, why did you tell right then and there what happened? I'm not talking about hearsay. He got in trouble for it. It's not hearsay if it is written down on documents. What do you mean hearsay? That August Alsina thing wasn't hearsay. That got reported. What are you talking about? He got in trouble for a gun previous. Why do you think he wasn't the first time offender? He already had a previous gun charge. That's not hearsay. That's factual. He had a previous gun charge. That's factual. The August Alsina thing, the police got called. What are you talking about? That's not hearsay. The police were called. And it was a report. An eyewitness gave a report of what happened. That went down on police terms. Remember, he got in trouble for that. And they raised his bail again. That isn't hearsay. Hearsay is, I heard that he punched August Alsina. That's hearsay. Some eyewitness and August Alsina reported it. That's not hearsay. August Alsina reported it to the police. Said what happened. So, Tory Lanez, you had an opportunity when Megan Thee Stallion said, that N-word Tory shot me. You went online less than 5 days later. And then you just went up there saying a bunch of nothing. Right then and there, it was your opportunity to give us a play-by-play of what happened. You could have told us right there what happened. You refused to tell us what happened in the car. Y'all still ain't told us what you were arguing about in the car. All of them refused to talk about what happened to the car. The bottom line. Right, Elite. He attacked, and these things were up. That's not hearsay. You need to look up what hearsay is. That's not hearsay. If it's reported and you got eyewitnesses, that isn't hearsay. Hearsay is, I hear they have a video. If you want to talk about hearsay, yeah, I hear there's a video, but no one's ever seen it. It never got presented to the court. That's hearsay. Anything that has no proof is hearsay. If there's no eyewitness, if there's no proof, that's hearsay. If something is documented and you have an eyewitness that said what happened, and then you have a victim who come forth and said, yeah, he did punch me, that's not hearsay. That's testimony. But Tory Lanez had ample opportunity. He came up there and said, oh, I didn't say anything because Rock Nation told me not to say nothing. So what? You listening to Rock Nation? They not your label. Rock Nation told you to be quiet, so you went quiet. Rock Nation ain't your label. Once you saw that Megan Thee Stallion fingered you, pause, and said, you're the guy, that's when you need to step up and say, oh, no, I ain't shoot that B-word. Her girl shot her. That's when you should have told the story. You can't let that go, and then they offered you a plea deal. You didn't take the plea deal. You're busy talking on social media, trying to tell people that Kelsey didn't do it. This didn't happen, that didn't happen, how she shoot, how you get shot, and there was no bones attendance, so you're trying to make like she never got shot. Then you get to court, and you tell your lawyer that you're going to say that Kelsey shot her, and your lawyer even told you that ain't gonna work. The first lawyer he had told him that isn't going to work. The Kelsey story is not going to work. You know what his lawyer told him? Because the one that you have testifying, unless he can make people believe his story, this Kelsey thing ain't going to work. But he didn't want to listen to her. He was listening to social media. See, this is his problem. This is his problem. He let social media gas him into thinking, oh, you see all this stuff that's happening on social media? You see all this proof on social media? And everybody on social media seems to think Megan's lying because she was dancing 2 weeks later, and she did this, and she did that, and she was fighting with Kelsey. Trust me. They're not going to believe. Social media says you're innocent. And Tory Lanez made the mistake of thinking that social media was going to be up in that courtroom. But they were not. They were not. So when your lawyer tells you, somebody who was on the dream team, somebody who was a paralegal for Johnny Cochran. I think she knows a little bit about law. She told him from the gate, the Kelsey story isn't going to work. The Kelsey story ain't going to work. Because Kelsey came out day one and said it wasn't her. She came out day one before anybody even said anything about Megan being shot, about anybody shooting her. Kelsey came out and said, I want to clear the air. I did not shoot my friend. I would never shoot my friend. She came out day one. Tory Lanez was doing the huckabuck, the Ali shuffle, and everything else. Talk about, oh yeah, I was going to say something. Rock Nation said, I know you plan on making a statement, but don't do that. Who the hell is Rock Nation to you? Rock Nation ain't nobody to you. And if you was going to agree to that, that should have been, don't nobody say nothing. The moment, if I would agree to that, the moment Megan Thee Stallion opened up her mouth, I'd be like, what? All bets are off. Now I'm going to tell you. She went and said it was me. Now I'm going to tell the truth. I'm not going to be quiet while she tries to sink me. Are you crazy? You know what I'm saying? Or are you crazy? I'd be like, nah, this girl said it was me. All bets are off. All agreements are off. But then they're talking about he don't want to say anything because he don't want to snitch on nobody, and he don't want, I don't know where the story came from, but the Tory Lanez fans were saying, yeah, he didn't want to take Kelsey away from his child. What? But if Kelsey did it like he said, Kelsey doesn't care about taking you away from your son. Kelsey don't care about taking you away from your son. And Kelsey had immunity. Kelsey wasn't getting in trouble. She already had immunity. They granted her immunity. So Kelsey could have went up there and said, you know, I didn't do it. Tory didn't do it. Well, she said, I didn't see Tory with the gun. But this fight, she didn't mention. Tory should have been like, first of all, they was having a fight. Kelsey didn't mention that. Megan didn't mention that. They were fighting. The eyewitness said they were fighting. And you can say, Kelsey's fingernails were on the ground. Ain't no scratches on me. If her fingernails are off and they're on the ground, that means you were scratching at somebody. But there's no scratches on me. He could have proved it that way. But no, he wanted to go the route of social media. He's caring about what everybody on social media was saying, and he wind up getting burnt. So now you want to say, I never had an opportunity? No, sir. You had an opportunity. You had plenty of opportunities. You didn't take it. You thought social media had you gassed that you were winning.
I never had one. And I feel like, that connotation that I would do anything of this monstrous proportion is completely incorrect and it's wrong.
Lanez declined to testify during his 2022 trial. Do you regret not taking the stand?
I think if I would have taken the stand, the verdict would have definitely been very different.
The rap.
So then say, yeah, I regret taking a stand. You see, this is the stuff I'm talking about. He still wants to try to stand on business and try to make that decision that he made the right decision. Sir, it was not a right decision. Do you think it was a humiliation ritual for Megan? I mean, Ania, it could have been. It could have been, but I don't know. Because he was humiliated more than her, probably. So I don't know. When it comes to those things, that is pretty much judgment calls, because a lot of people have a lot of different opinions about the rituals, the humiliation rituals, set and the third. So that's pretty much a judgment call. People are going to believe that it was. Some people believe that it wasn't. Right? But that's pretty much a judgment call. But all I know is Tory Lanez, as far as the whole, he was set up. So he was made to go to the party, to the Kylie party. He was made to go there. So if they were going to set him up, what about when Megan asked him, what if he said, nah, I'm sick, I can't make it tonight? I guess that ends the setup. What about the time when Megan got out of the car? Remember they were fighting and Megan got out of the car? If Tory would have said, fuck you, walk, and pull off, there would have never been an incident. So how did they know he wasn't going to do that? If he was set up, how did Kelsey know right after the incident to text somebody and say, Tory just shot Meg? So if you're going to say he was set up, you also then have to say that Kylie Jenner was in on it. Because the only way he could have been set up from the beginning, everybody would have had to been in on it. Kylie Jenner's not friends with Meghan anymore. So that doesn't really make sense either. Now, hearsay. Here's hearsay. Here's hearsay. Tory Lanez father saying, oh, they're mad because they wanted to sign Tory Lanez and he said no. Where's the proof of that? Where's the proof of that? Because no one else said that. No one testified to that. No one's seen an email. Nobody got a letter. There's no proof that Rock Nation was interested in signing Tory Lanez. He has no introduction email. He has no offer. He has no proof of meeting. So how do we know that happened? How do we know that happened? It don't matter whether they move smart or not. They can't hide an email. If they email Tory Lanez something, it's going to be in the paper trail. It's going to be in the paper trail. There's going to be no way that they can hide that they wanted to sign Tory Lanez. Those things have to be signatures. Those have to be offers in front of somebody. If you're going to sit here and say, Rock Nation must crumble, you have to have some sort of proof that Rock Nation had a motive for setting you up. What was their motive? What was their motive? Oh, they wanted Tory. He said no. Well, why did they kill Drake? Why didn't Jay-Z kill Drake? When Drake gave him a verbal agreement to join Tidal, more than Tory Lanez. And then Drake reneged and signed with Apple. Why did they kill Drake? They wanted to sign Cardi B when Cardi B had no manager. Cardi B said, nah, you guys got Megan Thee Stallion. So I don't really want to sign with Rock Nation. They already have a girl in the same genre as me. And that's their lead girl. I don't want to sign with them, step on no toes, this, that, and other. Why didn't they go kill Cardi B? Just because Doja Cat left Rock Nation, left them high and dry. Why didn't they go kill Doja Cat? She's a way bigger artist than Tory Lanez. There is no proof anywhere that Rock Nation wanted to sign Tory Lanez. And definitely no proof. Definitely no proof that you thought who said no? Doja Cat? No, Doja Cat was on Rock Nation. Doja Cat was on Rock Nation. But Doja Cat said, nah, this ain't really the place for me. Tory Lanez does not have, you do realize, to all the people out there that's like, oh, they wanted Tory. You do realize that Tory Lanez don't have a number one to his name? This nigga ain't Chris Brown. This nigga ain't Drake. This ain't The Weeknd. This is a regular artist. This is Bryson Tiller, Canadian version. Do you see anybody killing anybody over Bryson Tiller? Right. A lot of people decline Rock Nation, but they still walking around. But they're going to set up Tory Lanez. For what? Tory Lanez is a regular artist. He's no bigger than Bryson Tiller. He's no bigger than Mario. He's no bigger than none of them dudes. Exactly. I can deal with conspiracy theories as long as they somewhat make sense. Much as they somewhat make sense. But these dudes, these conspiracies with no proof, and nothing that even sounds like, you know what? That's possible. That's possible. He posted an image of what? He posted the image of what? Yeah, that was after. that was after the thing had already happened. That was after the thing had already happened. You can't say it's because of that. The trial was already in motion. The trial was already in motion. Yeah, he made $1 million in a minute, right? But the trial was already in motion. That came afterwards. The thing had already happened. So a lot of people say, "Oh, because he made that afterwards. He was already in trial. The trial had already started." So that is false. Please. Oh, okay. It wasn't. Hold on. It wasn't. The pre-trial hadn't started. That stuff had already happened. Okay. When did Tory Lanez? Hold on. Since you said loud and wrong, right? When did Tory Lanez make 1 million in a day? Tory Lanez made 1 million in under a minute on August 10th, 2021. When did the incident happen? 2020. So who's loud and wrong? Who's loud and wrong? That incident already happened. So no, they didn't set him up because he made $1 million in a day. That happened in 2021. They were already started pre-trial by then. So no, that is not why they set him up. So who's loud and wrong? Like I said, you don't know more than me. When it comes to this entertainment shit, y'all don't know more than me. Bullshit. I'm looking right at it. Tory Lanez made $1 million in under a minute on August 10th, 2021. No, he did not. No, he did not. No, he did not. August 10th, 2021, after the incident. After the incident. Go back and look when he jumped in that pool, because that's when it happened. Go back and look when he jumped in the pool. Here it is right here. You want to see it? Right here. Here it is right here. You see that? Tory Lanez made $1 million in under a minute on August 10th, 2021. That incident had already happened. So no, they didn't set him up because he made $1 million. It did not happen in 2020. You straight lying. You straight coming in here lying. Show me where it says that. Show me where it says that. So now, you're dramatic. No, because you're lying. You're a liar. You're a liar. You talk about something, it wasn't never that serious. No, you just coming in, don't come in here lying. Don't come in here lying. Then when you get caught, it was never that serious. Then stop lying. You can't outdo me in this entertainment shit. Or else you have a show. You can't outdo me in this entertainment shit. Talk about I'm loud and wrong. No, you're loud and wrong. You're loud and lying. So no, he did not get set up because of an EFT. He did not get set up because of EFT. No, you're just mad because you thought you can put over a lie. You said I'm loud and wrong. You thought you could put over a lie, and I caught it. Don't get mad. Don't get mad. Just don't lie. You trying to be right so bad that you're going to lie? Don't lie to me. They're going to say, it happened in 2020. Like you sitting there reading it. You're sitting there lying. Then when you caught, it's not that serious. Then why were you lying? If it's not that serious, why were you sitting up there telling a lie? So back to Tory Lanez. August 9th, here's all of the articles. August 9th, August 10th, August 10th. Stop it. So all of this stuff about this dude saying he didn't have an opportunity is false. He had plenty of opportunity, right? He had plenty of opportunity. He chose not to, and it came back to bite him. Now he's trying yet another appeal where they said they're going to go to the court, the appellate court, right? So his one appeal has already been denied. His new trial has been denied. So now they think they're going to go to the senior circuit and once again say they have new evidence, but they just went to an appeal. The appeal people, the appellate court said this is not new evidence that they submitted. right? So I don't know what Tory Lanez is going to do as far as an appeal, whether it's going to work with the senior circuit. It's highly unlikely. The best bet that you have is winning an appeal with the smaller appellate court. He had the best chance with the local court. But now that they've said no to it and said no rather quickly, now he's going to try to go to the senior circuit. And I think that's just going to be a little harder. But we'll see what happens. You know, I just think that Tory Lanez should have been told what happened. Been told. Because all this stuff is really just stuff you're seeing on the internet. If you don't show up with the video, you don't have new information, sir. You know, you need to show up with the video. Hold on. Do I still hear me? Yeah, because this stuff is not new information. It's not new information. I know all the Tory Lanez fans want it to be, but it's not. It's not new information. Right? And by now, if you're going to beat a trial, right? If you're going to tell them that your appeal is legit, all right, you have to come with some real new information. Want to contact your boy Joe Button, who's been talking about this video, your boy Whack 100, who's been talking about this video. Where is it? Where is it? Whack said they been was gonna have it. Oh, the girl was 16, so the girl was out 2 o'clock in the morning. The Chinese girl was out 2 o'clock in the morning and just decided to film Megan and Tory. And she has on her phone, but because she's under 18, her parents won't allow her to get involved. If there was really a video, there'd be nothing that they can do about age. They would subpoena her phone. If she admitted that she had a video, age would not be able to stop them. They would subpoena that phone and say, give me the phone. If this has evidence on it about a trial, about a case in the state of California, you cannot say, oh, we're not going to give you a phone because she's only 16 and we don't want her involved. No. The police can subpoena that phone, and there'd be nothing that the parents can do to stop it. Because that means you're hiding evidence. Evidence that can get a man out of jail? You know, if they had that, the defense would have been put that into discovery. But there is no tape. There is no tape. If there was a tape, it'd be up there. It just showed up by now. The thing that I understand about the whole Rock Nation thing, right? So everybody says Rock Nation is so powerful. They pay everybody. They pay the courts. They got the police on lock. They got the courts on lock. They got the medical examiners on lock. They got the ambulance, the hospital, the jury. So why Jay-Z couldn't make that that accusation go away with Tony Busby? If they got everybody on Smash, if they got everybody on payroll, how did they dismiss Jay-Z's lawsuit against Tony Busby? How did Tony Busby even present that case to get dismissed? If Jay-Z had everybody on payroll, they would have never even bought that. They would have never even bought that to the public. If everybody's on payroll. If they got everybody on payroll, how is Desiree Perez right now in a lawsuit? They would have just blew it off and like, nah, we're not going to even let this go through. The courts, oh, you see that she's suing Rock Nation? Oh, yeah, just throw that in the garbage. We're not going to let that go. Tell the judge to let the judge not let that go through. If they had everybody on payroll, why didn't the judge say, I'm throwing this out? Because according to everybody, Rock Nation has everybody on payroll. So then why isn't Desiree Perez's lawsuit thrown out? Why didn't they toss the Tony Busby lawsuit right away? What's up, Ashanti? If they got everybody on payroll, how come they couldn't pay Billboard off to say that Cardi sold more than Nicki Minaj? I mean, if they got everybody on payroll, they could have said, hey, Billboard, we'll give you $5 million to lie and say that she sold more than Nicki Minaj. Or say Megan sold 200,000 instead of 60. If they got everybody on payroll. Exactly. But then they say that, but then on the other hand, Rock Nation's broke. That was the narrative this year. Rock Nation's broke. If Rock Nation's broke, how can they afford to have all these people on payroll if they're broke? So which one is it? Is Rock Nation broke? Or is Rock Nation got everybody on payroll? Which one is it? You know, Nicki Minaj said Rock Nation's broke. Broke Nation, she called them. And everybody said Rock Nation's broke. Rock Nation's broke. But then they turn around and say, oh, he's got everybody on payroll. Well, how can he have everybody on payroll if he's broke? How can he afford to pay all those people if he's broke? So is he broke or he's not broke? And if he's got everybody on payroll, why aren't these lawsuits disappearing? What does Rock Nation have? 12 lawsuits this year? Maybe even more than that. They were mentioning about 12 lawsuits in 2025. If they had the courts on payroll, the courts would just be throwing them in the garbage. No. You can't, we're not going to allow this to go. We're not going to allow this to go through. We're not going to allow this to go through because we on their payroll. So let's talk about the big deal that got everybody upset. I don't know why they're upset at this man's money, but Charlamagne the God just signed a groundbreaking deal. A groundbreaking deal. $200 million extension. He's staying with the Breakfast Club. He's staying with iHeartRadio. And that is roughly, if it's a 5-year extension, that's $40 million a year. If it's a 4-year extension, that's $50 million a year. So he is literally right now the Stephen A. Smith of morning radio. He's literally the Stephen A. Smith of morning radio. Let me check out Lauren LaRosa. I'm going to take it off her page. When everybody was saying, remember last week? Oh, the Breakfast Club, you're finished. Your time is up. You're done. They got Ebro out of here first. Charlemagne's next. Remember? Well, Netflix just is basically taking over a lot of shows. Netflix bought iHeart. So you're going to be seeing the Breakfast Club, right? You're going to be seeing the Breakfast Club pretty much on Netflix starting next year. $200 million extension. Shout out to Charlemagne the God. Now, a lot of people upset saying, oh, how did you give Charlemagne an extension when all he does is destroy the culture? So I want to ask the people that made that comment, I'm going to give them the opportunity to explain how a radio co-host, not a DJ, he's not a DJ, he's not a program director. So I want to know how a radio co-host destroyed the culture. Right? How did a radio co-host destroy the culture? Because the last time I checked, 50 Cent is someone who's destroying the culture. Leor Cohen is somebody who's destroying the culture. Ebro is a program director. That means he decides what gets played on the radio. He's also a program director at Apple. So he decides what playlistings go where. Leor Cohen is the head of YouTube. He decides on the music tip what goes through and what doesn't. Charlemagne is a worker. He can't destroy hip-hop culture. He's a worker. No more than Angie Martinez can destroy hip-hop culture. And the last time I checked, Charlemagne owns Black Access, where he provides a platform for Black content creators to present their content and get on Spotify and Apple and all these other different platforms. So how is that destroying the culture? If anything, he's helping the culture. Because the Black content creators, they can go over to Charlamagne's platform, where he is pretty much just employing black content creators. As far as what he says on the radio, he's just reporting. He's got the donkey of the day. He's reporting where the donkey of the day, that's an opinion-based segment. In his opinion, this person deserves donkey of the day. That don't mean that they really get donkey of the day. That's just Charlamagne says they deserve donkey of the day. But how does that destroy the culture? So everybody's saying, oh, he shouldn't get this amount because he's helping destroy hip-hop culture. How? If Charlamagne wasn't working for Power 95, guess what? So the person who takes over for him will be doing the same thing he's doing. Whoever they put in his seat, DJ Envy has more control over the culture than Charlamagne, because DJ Envy is a DJ. And he puts on the records. And he decides what they play and what they don't play. So Envy has more control over the culture than Charlamagne. Trying to find Lauren LaRosa's post so I can take it directly from her page. Shout out to Lauren LaRosa doing her thing. You know, she's getting a lot of the people, a lot of the celebrities, when they want to clear something up, they're not calling Charlamagne. They're not calling Envy. They're not even calling Jess Hilarious. A lot of them are calling Lauren LaRosa. Number one, she used to work for TMZ, so she's already a seasoned reporter / journalist. Her fine self. That's beside the point. That's a fine chocolate mama there, boy. Woo. She tall too. Child. Hold on. Hold on. Jesus Christ, man. I need to try to. All right, there we go. Trying to find her actual post so I can read it direct off that post. So here it is. Charlamagne signs an epic 5-year, 200 minutes. So it is 5 years. Deal with iHeartRadio extended his time to Breakfast Club for several more years. She said, period, sis. They ain't never gonna let him live that picture down, man. So everybody that thought that Charlamagne was going to be off the air, I know Drake was waiting for it. So Drake could have said, you know, he doesn't like Charlamagne much either. And Drake was going to be looking to do what he did to Ebro. But he's not going to be able to do that to Charlamagne the God. He's not going to be able to do that to Charlamagne the God. So shout out to Charlamagne. So going now, it looks like they're going to be going over to Netflix. Because iHeartRadio is now down with Netflix, right? So before I get out of here, I want to discuss my discussion that I had with one of my connects as far as Nicki Minaj's new single. So it will not be coming out this year. She's not going to drop it on New Year's Eve, like a lot of people are saying. At one point, judging to the source I spoke with, at one point that was a suggestion. They were going to try to put it on as soon as the clock struck 12 on New Year's Eve going into the new year, since the album comes out in March. What she was going to do, which I thought was a brilliant idea. I think she should have went through with it. That, as they say, Happy New Year, her album drops. Like, I thought that was a great idea. No matter what day New Year's falls on. Let's say, does New Year's even fall on a Friday? That would have been super sexy if she would have did that. Hold on. So New Year's, so it would have been, she would have been dropping it on a Thursday instead of dropping it on a Friday. Right? She'd been dropping it on a Thursday night at midnight instead of a Friday, one day prior to the what's it called? So it had, one day on it. So then you had to go a whole nother week, right, for it to chart. But I thought that would have been a crazy idea if she would have dropped it on a Thursday instead of a Friday, right? That would have been crazy. I heard Mariah is allegedly, pregnant? Mariah the scientist or Mariah Carey? I heard Mariah is allegedly, I'm gonna assume, pregnant. Mariah the scientist? Mariah the scientist or Mariah Carey? If it's Mariah the scientist, that's probably, you heard she's allegedly pregnant. Mariah the scientist. So did you hear she's allegedly pregnant, Desi? By Thugger? I think he put a ring on it the other day. That'd be cool. If she got engaged the other day and then she's pregnant now, hey, more power to her. Mariah the scientist, she's cute. I like Mariah the scientist. She sings a little bit better than people give her credit for. If she could have the push of some of the other artists, she's really not a bad artist. Yeah, they probably didn't. She's really not a bad artist. I've heard some of her stuff. And a lot of people give her a lot of flack, and I don't think they really take her serious. But she's not a bad artist at all. Lotto is not pregnant, Ania. Lotto is not pregnant. Not from what I've heard. I think Lotto just fluctuates with her weight. Right? Yeah, exactly, Desi. She makes good songs. She does make some catchy songs. Now, I'm not going to say she's a great singer or a great vocalist, but a couple of times I heard her joints, I'm like, wait a minute. This shit here is all right. This shit here is all right. Nicki need music coming. So here it is, Darius. Not not December 31st, but the new plan The new plan for the new music. Since the album is March 27th, new plan for new music. February. Let me see the date that they gave me. Around this time. Hold on. Now, February, I'm like, I thought she was going to come a little bit earlier than February. But from what I hear, what she's worried about is leaks. Right? When you put shit out too early, there's always a chance that some hater could go and leak your music. Now, Nicki Minaj has been pretty good in the past with not getting her music leaked. She's been pretty good with that. I think she probably had her music leaked less than any star that I can remember. It seemed like everybody else is always getting their music leaked. But Nicki Minaj has been pretty good with her music not being leaked. So I think that's what she's thinking about. She wants to make the release closer to the album. She don't want to give the single too many weeks ahead of the album. So in February, somewhere around the middle of February, whatever that Friday is or the week of Valentine's Day, and from what I hear, there is a song that was completed a while ago with Sabrina Carpenter. And I expect her first single to be a feature. Because to me, that's the smart move. The smart move is to release the song on with a feature of a hot artist like Sabrina Carpenter. So if she releases a single and that single has someone like a Sabrina Carpenter on it, that song's going number one. There's no doubt in my mind that song would go number one. Now you got your fourth number one leading into the album. It's very important. Nicki Minaj, what, 6? A very important 6th album. Because wasn't Pink Friday 2 the 5th? Yeah, Pink Friday 2 the 5th. Right? So Sabrina Sabrina, Nicki Minaj is a number one song. Now, the only thing is, will they put that song out? Nicki really likes her first singles to be her. Like, she's done it in the past, but she really, traditionally, she likes for the first single of the album to be all her. She usually doesn't like making the first single a feature or a collab. Right? So this one, if they got the songs on it that I'm expecting, you know, they said that it was a couple of years ago, but they said that her and Rihanna, just remember one night they went into a studio together. Now, I know they wasn't in the studio comparing, you know, fingernail polish. It was one night, it was like 12 o'clock, midnight, because Rihanna likes to go in the studio early in the morning, like late night, early in the morning. And there was one night where it was reported that they were both in the studio after midnight. And that's when Rihanna likes to record. So that song is out there. Now, does it mean it's coming out? No, but there's so many songs that these people have recorded, and they all got songs together and the songs never came out. You know how many songs Nicki and Drake got? Nicki and Wayne, Nicki and Drake got that's just laying around. Nicki and Beyonce's 7-Eleven remix never came out. But she was on the 7-Eleven remix. I heard the verse. That 7-Eleven remix, man, if it would have dropped, oh, disgusting. I wanted that record to drop. If that 7-Eleven, oh man, if that 7-Eleven remix would have ever dropped, man, oh man. You know, she had another song with 50, which I think she picked the wrong song, because the song that I heard she had with 50 was hard. And I thought that was going to be the song on the new album, but it wasn't. They put some other song with 50, a song I didn't like. But the song she had with 50 was a Queen song. They were talking about Queens. They were repping Queens. And I was like, uh-oh, this is hard. But then they put the other song on instead. Like, I wasn't really feeling that song that much. But who knows? Maybe this song, the other song I heard with 50 Cent that I thought was going to be on PF2, maybe she'll put it on this new album. Because the album's only 3 months away, a little bit over 3 months away. So right now it's 3 months and 8 days until her album. And we do not have a name for it. A lot of people was thinking it Pink Friday 3 or the Pink Print 2. Right? She might just go to Nicki, because I don't think she has an album called Nicki. I don't think she has a self-entitled album. When she's supposed to drop? So she's dropping March 27th, Blue Magic. I don't think she has a self-entitled album. Pink Friday, Roman Reloaded, Pink Print, Queen, Pink Friday 2. No, so she doesn't. So this could be Onika. The reason why I say that is because she's making a lot of notion to, she's very hands-on this album. I heard she might drop her first producer. Remember, I told y'all right before Pink Friday 2 that she had some songs with Drake, and wherein it was her first song that she had produced by herself. So the reason why I'm thinking this could be called Onika is because, remember, she said all of her aliases is going to be coming out on this album. So you're going to hear Red Ruby the Sleaze. You're going to hear a little bit of Roman. And I'm thinking that this would be the perfect time. If it's called Onika, that means it's more on hands her, more of her ideas, more, you know, her personalities coming out. If it ain't called Onika, she should be listening to me. Somebody send this live to Nicki Minaj. Nicki, call your album Onika and put on there your first fully produced song. That rollout would be perfect for the things you've been saying. Your best album. Iceman got pushed back. I kind of think that that Drake is going to go a total different direction. Iceman melted. I think Drake is going a totally different direction because Iceman, from what I heard, had a lot of Kendrick rebuttals, a lot of, oh, y'all turned on me, this and that. But now that he sees things are kind of going back to normal and Kendrick kind of like took the reign, went on tour. He took the crown, went on tour, and then left it on the road. And then somebody called Drake and said, hey, Kendrick left his crown here. And Drake said, stay right there, don't move. Hide it. I'm on my way. It's like Kendrick took the crown and then forgot it. Went on the road and left it. Because Drake was still, at the end of the day, the most streamed rapper. He was still leading in people's Spotify raps. And then I love all the Drake haters that try to justify why he was still on the top of people's Spotify raps. There is no justification. If you didn't really F with him like that, why would you listen to him? If you didn't like his music, if he makes corny music now, why are you listening to him? If Kendrick is the new king, why are you still listening to Drake? Why isn't Kendrick on the top of all y'all Spotify raps? You know why? Because y'all were lying. Y'all just wanted to look good on social media and follow the crowd and say, oh, Drake is done. Oh, A minor. Oh, he put that out. Oh, that's corny. That's corny. You put out record. Oh, try again. Just that. But meanwhile, y'all really like y'all are listening to it. When you get offline, you go in the back and putting it on quiet. So your brother or sister don't hear you be like, I thought you said you didn't like Drake. I thought I just heard you online saying you didn't like Drake. Why you playing Drake? So they go in the back and plug in their headphones and listen to Drake. Oh, this shit kind of knocking. This shit is kind of knocking. Drake is still the most streamed rapper, but if you ask Kendrick fans and ask all the casuals, that's what I call people who aren't really into hip hop, but they come and give a take like, oh, Jay-Z is not really that good, or Jay-Z never had a dominant era, or Beyonce can't really sing that great. Like, those are casual takes, and that's how you can tell people who don't really know music. I don't take those type of people serious. I don't talk music with casuals. You got to really know music to talk music with me. But the casuals have those sort of takes. He didn't really have a dominant era. Oh, he wasn't really that good. He was overrated. Oh, he was never the hottest rapper at any time. Like, those are casual takes for people who don't really follow music. They just go online and follow what's trending and follow what people say online. Right? It was kind of like when the Nicki hate train came, and then the media started saying Charlemagne, Joe Budden. I remember Charlemagne and Joe Budden being on the radio and during the time where I guess they were on the oust with Nicki. And they said I would have thought they were casuals if I didn't know no better. They said, oh, you can't come back with the same flow. That same corny flow, Nicki. Nobody wants to hear that. And I was like, That's the 5 Flow Dynamo. That's the nickname I gave her. If there was anything that Nicki Minaj never slacked in, it's flow. She had different flows. So this narrative of, oh yeah, she has got the same old flow. I was like, okay, y'all don't really listen to music. I see that you're going on and seeing people say that, right? Nicki's a queen of switching up her flow on the same record. So that narrative, now if you want to say, oh, she talked about the same thing, I think he kind of meant, oh, we don't want to hear about how many plaques, how many records you sold. You got to rap. I remember him saying that during the whole Sheetha situation. And he said, don't try to respond talking about plaques and how many records you sold. You got to really rap with Remy, which I totally agree with. I totally agree with that take. But her flow don't have nothing to do with that. She's never lacked in that. That's like saying Biggie, oh, yo, Biggie got a whack flow. No, that's his number one, that's the number one thing about Biggie, his flow. He has a flow like none other. He may not be the best lyrically. He may not be the most durable. He may not be the most versatile. But when it comes to flow on the mic, Biggie's flow is one of one. He had the greatest flow of any male rapper ever. And I'm not the only person that says that. That's my opinion, but I'm not the only person who shares that opinion. Woo, Friday. We'll be back tonight to do our long stream. Want to thank everybody. Desi, you know I love you. Blue Magic. Darius. Everybody out there, man. I thank y'all for rocking with me. I'll send out a notification if I do tonight. It's gonna be longer. It's gonna be longer tonight because it's Friday night. But thank y'all for rocking with me, man. If you want to support your boy on Cash App, it's $ Heaven Hollywood. Desi, why don't you show some love, Desi? Hit your boy Cash App. It's Christmas time. Nah, you know I love you, Desi. We argue and fight, but you know I love you. My older sponsors get on my nerves. Right. It's all good, though. It's all good at the end of the day. I love you. Blue Magic, thank you so much for your engagement. If anyone has not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to my moderators. I think Ashanti was in. My right hand, Darius, who's always by my side, got my back. Yeah, that's it, man. We'll be back. Of course, we will convene before Christmas time. If this is your last time in here before Christmas, have a Merry Christmas. If I don't see y'all before the New Year, I know my main people show up, but if you're here for the first time and you said, "Oh no, I ain't coming back here, this nigga," thank you for coming this time, and happy holidays to you. But to my main people, I'll see y'all. We'll ride out again. This has been another installment of the Heaven Hollywood Experience. Peace.